You think you see the world through your eyes. I mean, why wouldn't you? It seems like a normal enough belief to have, but the truth is, you don't. You see it through your mind. Your eyes collect the light, and your mind tells you what that light even means. That's why two people can live in the exact same world and see it completely differently. Because perception isn't truth, perception is just projection. And until you can understand that, you're not really seeing life for what it is. You're just seeing your own conditioning play back at you, and you're not even aware. So let me get to the point. You don't see things as they are. You see them as you are. Everything you've been through, every wound, every bias, every belief, every assumption you have, it all becomes the lens you look through. And that lens completely shapes the world that you think you live in. When your mind is anxious, you begin to notice everything that could go wrong. When you're grateful, you'll notice all of the beauty around you. When you're bitter, you'll find reasons to stay angry. In all of those situations, you think you're reacting to reality, but you're really reacting to the version your mind has already edited for you. Just do something quick for me. Right now, look around the room that you're in. What do you see? You might say a desk, a football, a wardrobe, but the truth is, you didn't actually see any of them. You labeled them. Your eyes just absorbed color and shape, and your mind then decided, oh, okay, that's a desk, that's a wardrobe, that's a football. It's practically impossible to separate what your eyes are seeing from what your mind says, because you never live through your eyes. You only live through your interpretation. The world you're experiencing isn't the raw world. It's the world your mind has already processed, labeled, and made real through meaning. So in reality, you don't even live in the world. You live in your version of it. Your mind is what's built the world you wake up to every day. And when you can see that, when you can really understand that light passes through your eyes but is made into reality in your mind, you realize something massive. If your mind creates your reality, then your mind has the power to change it. Because if your mind gives meaning to every single thing you see, then you can begin to reverse engineer that. If you can assign meaning, then you can reassign it. You can begin to change your world by changing the way you label it. You have the power to decide that failures now mean feedback, that rejection simply is redirection, that discomfort is the same thing as growth. When you decide to change the story changes you. Because you're not a victim of your perception, you're the author of it. I'm sure you've heard this before from myself or my brother, but the world mirrors your inner state. If your mind's filled with fear, the world gives you reasons to be afraid. If your mind's filled with gratitude, the world will multiply the things you have to feel grateful for. When you're lazy, all you'll see is obstacles. When you're disciplined, you'll see structure. If you can catch yourself in the act of interpreting, even better. When something happens, you can pause and think, is this really true? Or is this just how I've trained myself to see? Then you can learn to reframe situations in your life. When something happens to you, when something doesn't go your way, instead of asking why me and wallowing in self-pity, ask, what is this showing me? What is this teaching me? Where can I learn from this experience? Every single situation you're in carries information, so stop treating it like punishment. It's just another form of learning. Next, you can begin visualization. Start deliberately looking for what you'd like to see. Train your focus, hone this skill, because ultimately your brain doesn't care what's true, it just believes whatever you feed it. If you begin to focus on opportunity, I guarantee you'll see it everywhere. If you begin to interpret the world through a lens of excitement, beauty, kindness, and discipline, you'll find that too. Then you need to start the act of embodiment. Stop only waiting to see the change and start becoming it. If you want to see abundance, then stop perceiving everything with a broke mind. If you want to attract more love, then stop acting so unworthy. If you want to make some real progress, then stop acting lost. Because the mind ultimately listens to the behavior. And the more you behave like this new version of yourself, the more your mind updates the map of your reality. Because you cannot build a new life through an old lens. Why would you expect to keep thinking the same way and see something new? The problem isn't the world, it's the filter. It's the way your mind is labeling what's happening. The way you've chosen to process everything. So take the time to understand that your eyes simply collect data. Your mind is what creates all meaning. Meaning then shapes your life. That's why two people can look at the same sunset. One sees something beautiful, one feels nothing. The difference isn't the world, it's their awareness. It's how they've chosen to operate. So stop trying to change your reality in the physical world when we've just understood that reality lives in the mind. It's not see it to believe it anymore. You need to learn to believe it to see it.